They're here to make a dollar. I'm here to make a difference. Don't get into it today. There will be many lessons. I hope you all have your notepad and take these lessons to heart. Philip, he writes, Peace of the Saints. What are some discounts that you are looking for now that the stock market has taken a dip in 3 consecutive days? Well, you know what? I was actually looking. I put Boeing on my watch list because I'd like to grab some Boeing. I'm going to take a look at it right now. I got an alert this morning. It says that Boeing actually went up in price. I'm just going to go ahead and confirm that. For those of you who, for some reason, might not know, but Boeing is in basically a aerospace and defense company. And I saw yesterday that that went down a bit. And I see today that they're up higher. Looking at the 1 year for Boeing, they're down 26%. Looking at the 5 year, they're down 11%. So the 1 year, they're down 25%. We look at the 1 month, they're down 14. So that's good. You know, this is not a terrible time to buy Boeing. I don't mind getting in there. So I'm going to go ahead and create a buy order for less than it's priced at right now. So I'm looking in the last 5 years, it's been down as low as $117 just on quick visual inspection, looking at the charts. In the last year, it's been as low as 137. So I think I'll go in at 117. I don't mind that. So I'm creating a buy order for for 2 shares at 117, good till cancel plus extended hours. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick. But anyways, let's talk about some stocks that you guys are familiar with, some stocks that are very expensive that are now, you know, affordable. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's in my current portfolio and what I would consider buying if I were you, because some of these securities will never be as cheap as they are now. Not in the near term, not unless there's a proper market crash, which this is not. So I'm going to my portfolio right now. I just want to be fully transparent. My portfolio is down 18.65%, which is a significant percentage, no doubt. Just to let you know which companies are still flying high despite this. And it just lets you know that they're really going to soar later on when the market recovers inevitably. But one company, the stock ticker is X. This is United States Steel Corporation. You may remember when I did the stock lives, I talked about steel because this is one of the things that America is going to want to produce domestically. It's critical for heavy industry. It's critical for the war industry. And I predicted that this would be, you know, very important, especially when the housing market starts to recover and things like that. So anyways, I invested in that early, and that is up right now. It's up 18%, which is really phenomenal considering that the whole market is down. So that's going to really soar. Then there's Treasure Global Inc. I have, which is also up, and I'll tell you what they do real quick. Or not, because it's not giving me the. Okay, let's see. No, I'm not going to go into that real quick. Let's skip that. I want to show you guys something real quick. I don't want to get too much into stock. I said I wouldn't talk about stock. Anyway, shout out to Chung, supporting the work. Shout out to Ernest and shout out to Master Bruce. Looks like folks are not supporting this one, so I'll go ahead and wind it down real quick. But let me tell you about some of the more basic stocks that you guys are familiar with. Mara Holdings, if I recall correctly, it's connected to the crypto market. I personally never invest in crypto because there's no underlying asset. I shouldn't say never. I don't do it now. I did it early on when only very technical folks knew about it, but I haven't done it for many years since the hurricanes in Puerto Rico. But Mara Holdings is connected to the crypto industry. Let's see. Just want to confirm that. Yeah. So anyways, that's up right now. And that was actually recommended to me by one of you. As you guys know, when I used to do the stock lives, people would send in their recommendations. And that was one stock that I reviewed, and it seemed like a great buy, and it has been a great buy. That one was recommended by Kyle. I just happen to remember that one. Shout out to Kyle. Bowhead Specialty Holdings is up. Service Titan is up. Patriot National Bank Corp is up. And I actually bought quite a bit of that. That is a I love buying banks because America doesn't really let their banks fail. Shopify is up, which I'm extremely surprised about right now. So that's very peculiar. I also bought a casino. So Century Casino Inc. is up. Gambling just never really goes anywhere because it's an addiction-based industry. Jet AI is up. Novanix is up, and I also have Moderna, which is up. And that's unique for me because I always tell you guys to stay away from the pharmaceutical industry. However, Moderna is tried and true. Whether they create good product or not, government relies on them. They're really a staple in that industry. So hard to lose there. Everything else is down, including huge corporations that you guys know about. Cintas is down. I have Tesla. They're down. I expect them to recover, but I don't think that they're ever going to be as well positioned as they previously were due to Elon Musk's political activities and also just the advancement of Chinese electric vehicles. So I don't expect that they'll ever really dominate in the way that they have previously or have the reputation. So as a result, I'm going to, once they get back afloat and they go up, say 10, 15%, or maybe 15, 20%, I'm going to sell because I don't think they have any trips up their sleeve. I'm going to invest more heavily into BYD, which is a Chinese electric car maker. And what else? I just want to mention a few more for you guys who are trying to get to this money. Amazon is down 7%, which is extraordinary. It's at $173. Amazon is for sure going to recover. There's just no doubt about that. Meta is down 10% in my portfolio. I have quite a bit of it. They're going to recover. There's no doubt about that. These are good buys here. Reddit is down, and they recently IPO'd. So the good news with them is that their overall share price is actually quite low. It's only $88. So I think that Meta or Reddit, even though I don't really understand their business, I see that people use it. I don't really use it, but I think that they're going to do really well. You're going to get some big returns there. Apple is down 13%, which is an extraordinary opportunity to buy. I'm just telling you what my existing portfolio looks like, and then I'm going to look at my buy orders and see if I have buy orders for these. And if I don't, I'm going to create some real quick. Then I have a number of other companies that you probably haven't heard of, companies in infrastructure, companies in construction, companies in transportation, mostly commercial. None of the other ones are really relevant to you all. So those are the big ones. Now I'm going to look at my open orders, and then we're going to talk a little bit more Trump politics. We're going to talk a little bit about EU and talk about global politics in general. Send your comments and questions for the time being. And also, God willing, I will remember not to do these sessions. And thank you to the handful of folks who do support. You are appreciated. Okay. And shout out to JVR, sends a tuition by PayPal. Appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to the hustlers, really. That's what we got going on right now. This is a session for the hustlers. That's all this is. It's for the ones who really want to get after the bizag. And this is a great opportunity. See, that's the thing about people who are unintelligent and or irrational, is that they pretend as though they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance to become successful. They don't have a chance to become wealthy. Here we are standing in the midst of the chance, the opportunity, and they're being foolish, they're being fearful, and they're missing it. And that's fine with me, because their foolishness actually increases my opportunity. The more they believe that things are all bad, the better my opportunity is. I'll tell you guys what I have in terms of open orders right now. Then we'll get into the politics, which I know a number of folks are here for. All right, I guess I shouldn't say we'll get into the politics. I'll probably just wind it down shortly after that. So I see folks are not really into the session. Shout out to Rudy. He writes, overdue tuition. I appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, for the hustlers who are here, what's in my portfolio to be purchased. So I just put Boeing in there. So Boeing's in there. I got a limit order of $117 to purchase 2 shares. It's currently at $137. I need that to fall. I have some Cintas, which I already have in my portfolio. I think it's a good company. There's there's not a huge gap. I'm going to buy it at 170. It's at about 190 right now. I got BKV, and that one, I got also AI. That one's far off. I have Stellantis. which is far off from executing. I have Archer Aviation. And what I'm looking at with my open orders, and I'll tell you guys what I do when I have open orders in times such as these, which are very uncertain times, I don't like my market order to be, or my limit price to be too close to the current market price. I want to make sure that there's enough of a gap so that I'm getting a deal when the trade finally executes. And I also do after hours trading. So these trades can execute during open hours or after hours. So what I basically want to do, make sure that there's a big enough gap so that if the market changes rapidly, I'll benefit from it. I don't want it to be a situation where the share price of a particular security like gradually moves down and then my trade executes. I want it to be like there's a sharp drop for some specific change in consumer or Wall Street sentiment, and then I benefit from that aberration, and then the price shoots back up. And that's why I like to have a decent gap, a reasonable gap, so that the trade does eventually execute, but it doesn't execute like with the price inching down, if you will. Anyway, so I have Boeing, Cintas, BKV Corp, and just going through scanning the gaps here. And let me show you guys what I'm looking at, if you don't mind. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay, so these are my open trades, and the bid versus the limit price is what I'm looking at. So this gap, and I want there to be a gap. If there's not a gap, I'm going to update the trade. And now there's certain things where like the gap is smaller, and that makes sense because the overall bid price is actually quite low. So the movement is going to be not significant. So anyways, this is a good gap, good gap, good gap, good gap, big gap. That's probably not going to execute anytime, maybe never. It's a decent gap, good gap, good gap, good one, good one. This is meta right here. Obviously, I want a heck of a deal, it looks like. That may never execute, but if it does, I'll be in the money. And, right now it's all good. Last night I was talking with someone and they were saying, because, next day market's only gone down 2.5%. And they're saying, oh, we were very pessimistic. It hasn't even gone down that bad. I said, no, we weren't pessimistic because there's nothing wrong that can happen. If the market goes down, we buy more. If the market stagnates, we don't do anything. If the market goes up, then we've made money. So it's all positive. It's win-win-win. Okay, so right here we have Japan Airlines, which I've been wanting some Japan Airlines for a long time. So I'm going to leave this like this. This is probably going to execute sometime soon. I like Japan Airlines because they're innovative. They have pretty cool marketing strategies. And for sure, the Japanese government is going to help. So that I'll leave there. This is one of my penny stocks. Looks like it's related to gold and mining, so that's always good. I like penny stocks because you can get, like, as you can see here, 1,000 shares. And if it ever performs, then you're really going to do well. What I like here is that there are good gaps. When the crash first started, I didn't have enough gaps and I had a ton of trades to execute and I didn't get the best position. At the time I was on holiday, so I wasn't really managing this or keeping an eye on the news. So a time like this, you really want to keep a closer eye on your portfolio and, make reasonable adjustments unless you're using, algorithms and you have automation going, which I don't think anyone listening to this does. Okay, so we've not seen the market move much, frankly, since Friday's close. The market's been pretty... Yeah. So I think the market is finding a sweet spot. I don't need to change anything. Doesn't look like any of these trades are going to execute anytime soon, except my Japan stock. So that's cool because I do want Japan Airlines, and I've been waiting for a long time. And my wish is for all of you to live prosperous, happy, meaningful lives. Those who are wise will always be able to see what I'm doing. Because if you can't watch 4 of my videos and not see what I'm about. You can't watch 4 of my videos and not see that there's something deeper here. And more importantly, you can't be among the saints and not see that we have something strong and powerful, and it only gets stronger. Saints, it has been truly a pleasure to be here fellowshipping with you. I tell you, I could have done a lot of things tonight, and I'm so happy that I did this and had this time to spend with you. It's been an honor. I thank you to all of you who share the ism with people, because it is truly life-changing. A woman reached out recently, a gentleman that shared the ism with her, and I think that it's always a blessing to people. So let us spread this way because we are facing huge levels of evil dominating around the earth. Ladies and saints, let us end this with our tradition, the creed of the assassin. Repeat after me with full conviction, knowing this is true of you. The creed of the assassin. I am going to be who I truly am, because I am remarkable, and I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part, to show the greatest part, to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time.